We essentially acknowledge Beijing's position. That doesn't mean that we accept it. It doesn't mean that we don't think there are challenges around the ways that they see it. And I'm concerned that that acknowledgement of Beijing's position means that some of our civil servants are overly cautious when it comes to their activities and their engagements with Taiwan. So I would very much like it if we were to move towards recognition of Taiwan. I think we have gone a lot further than a lot of other countries. And look, the committee, our report, we are very, very clear in what we want. But we also recognise, however, that when we were in Taiwan, the people we spoke to wanted to protect the status quo. What I don't want to do is for my committee to somehow aggravate the Chinese government or make the situation worse for the people of Taiwan. It is all about supporting self-determination. It's all about supporting what you want and the rights that you deserve to have. So yes, our committee report, we are very clear about how we see Taiwan. We acknowledge China's position. We do not accept it. And therefore, us, Taiwan should be able to have that sovereignty that it seeks and deserves. However, we also know that the majority of people in Taiwan have said they want to maintain the status quo. And therefore, my committee, because we believe in self-determination, will always respect what the people of Taiwan think is best for them. So we have to make sure that we are doing everything we can to make sure that we do not see any unilateral effort to achieve sovereignty through force. So when it comes to Taiwan, that means, first of all, international recognition as much as possible to the extent that is appropriate. So, for example, my committee coming to Taipei, that mattered because it was about us having parliamentary to parliamentary engagement and making sure that China does not feel that it can prevent that from taking place. The next extension of that is when it comes to multilateral fora. We need to support Taiwan in as many multilateral fora as possible. The world knows, every country knows, that we should have listened to Taiwan in 2020 and we failed to do so. And if we had fully incorporated you into the international environment and the international community, we would have been better placed to deal with the pandemic. So whether it be the World Health Organization, the IEA, or CPTPP, which obviously we are now in, and we want to see you in, these are things we need to do. Ministerial engagement also matters. And then it's actually about, whether it's economic partnerships, whether it's security partnerships, it's about working out what we need to put in place to make clear that we are not going to forget Taiwan. We are not going to stop focusing on protecting Taiwan, and that actually we look at our own vulnerabilities so that we can be as strong as possible to protect and support Taiwan, so that in the worst possible thinking within China, they look around the world and realize that when we say we will deter and we say we will protect Taiwan, that we really mean it. But obviously, our absolute goal is to prevent an invasion in the first place. If we get to the point where there has been an invasion, it's too late. We should not have allowed it to get to that point. Xi Jinping cannot afford a narrative where the West has stopped him from invading Taiwan. We have to make sure that we give him a way out. And that is something we have to do, because ultimately our jobs are to protect the ability of the people of Taiwan to continue to live their lives freely. We should be looking at this strategically. There should be a formal set out document that looks at where our strategic priorities should be for our relationship with Taiwan. At the moment, it feels like individual government departments are deciding for themselves whether they want to engage with Taiwan. And for some, for example, look at the Department for Education. That would be a natural thought for them to look at international partnerships in the way that they could be, for example, with Taiwan. So what we need is a central strategy written by the Foreign Office that allows us to work out where we should be working with Taiwan, different sectors of our industries and different sectors of our society. So for me, look, Taiwan wants to be bilingual by 2030. That is something where the UK should be stepping forward and saying, let us be your primary partner in terms of that. Within the UK, we have a desperate need to improve Mandarin capability and better understanding of, Chinese and Asian history. And so one of the proposals I've been putting forward is that we should close Confucius Institute in the UK, and instead we should be working with the government of Taiwan. And I've had quite significant and in-depth conversations with the government of Taiwan about how we would do that. And this is a proposal that I have put forward to the Department for Education, and I really hope we see them take it seriously, because there is a natural fit bringing together the expertise of Taiwan's highly advanced education system with, for example, Hong Kongers already in the UK, and then working together to ensure that we improve Mandarin capability in the UK, but also that we are building that partnership and that more students from Taiwan choose the UK for their university education rather than the US.